So, moving on to our most anticipated games for 2016. What we'll look forward to the most, and why? Over to Mark.
I'm a bit scared, to be honest. Why?
Sorry, but
I'm looking forward to video games because I like video games.
I
Thank
like
you.
video games. Video games are very good.
It's
It's good because we're doing AlwayzGamezTV.com. It's helpful.
I'm looking forward to Persona 5. I assume we all are.
What is it?
And why have I not heard of it?
Wait a minute, there's 5?
Persona
I
5.
have heard of Persona. Again, very much what I've said before is that it's another game that I've heard of but not really played.
You've heard of all.
Remind me?
Okay. Persona 5 is the latest RPG of the Shin Megami Tensei Persona game series by Atlas Games.
Well, though, you didn't hesitate either. I'm really impressed by that.
A massive weeb, like the Japanese games. And the newest one for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4. Going over.
Oh, do you know something we don't know about 2016?
Get your
Okay.
VR headset on.
Game of the year 2017.
Beyond Souls 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yes.
Two Souls, Too Furious. God, that game be awful in VR. It'd just be Willem Dafoe's face. It's just. It's an RPG game similar to like standard JRPGs where you do some dungeon exploring and enemies appear and you fight them in turn-based combat and you level up your party. Similar to like how Pokemon plays, old Final Fantasy games, stuff like that. But the thing that made the Persona games different ever since Persona 3 for the PS2 is that they're set in the real world of like normally like Japanese teenagers where something happens. So each game is set on a different theme and the whole game's story is based on this theme and there's a calendar. So it sounds really boring, but it's good at the same time. So there's a full calendar where every day you live the life of the main character. So in Persona 3, you're a young lad who's just moved to this new like town, city, whatever in Japan, and you go into this new school. So it introduces you to the school, you go around there. But as you're going around town, for some reason at midnight, the clocks stop and everyone freezes and you see like people die. There's like this extra hour that happens for some reason in this town. And this extra hour is called something like the Twilight Hour or something like that. And it only happens at midnight for 1 hour. But if certain people are left out, they get killed by these like things that appear, but no one else can see them. Certain people have the ability to still move during the Twilight Hour. Funnily enough, you are one of these people. And you meet up with different people from the school who've like set up this like secret organization that's trying to like stop it. But anyway, that's Persona 3. The main idea then is that every night you can choose to go into this tower, and by the end of the year, you've got a year of gameplay to get to the top of this tower and stop whatever it is. Otherwise, it ends. At any point, if you miss a certain like checkpoint and the days pass, then it's game over. You have to like start again. That's it. So like your save file, you might be stuck on the same boss. You'd have to beat that boss, otherwise you're not getting past the checkpoint. But when I say year, you can do things in your day. So depending on the day of the week, you have to do different things. So you go to school. So Monday to Friday, you're going to school, and certain things will pop up, and you've got stats like charisma, intelligence, stuff like this. During class, it might ask you things like, oh, you're in history. It gets a bit boring. Do you want to go to sleep for a bit? You can say yeah, and you can rest up so that night you won't be tired to go into the dungeon. But if you don't sleep, your intelligence might have a chance of going up because you might get asked questions and stuff like that. The whole idea, yeah,
very, very in depth. Like, so how is this presented then? What does it look like? Because like so many people have talked about Persona before, and it's one of the sort of games where when you hear it and you go, oh yeah, but you never. not paid attention to it at all, but I know it is super popular. So how is it presented, like, as a game format? There's probably people watching this now like, you don't know Persona? I'm like, I played other obscure games I never talk about.
It's a third-person, normally fixed camera background kind of game. So think back to, have you ever played like any old PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 RPGs at all? Like any of those ones? And if not, think I'm going to go with Resident Evil is probably the quickest thing to like reference. Like that kind of
fixed background. And,
yeah. You move around them, but there might be NPCs around to talk to and carry on or whatever. But like you can go to the school, you can go to after-school activities, you make friends, and the whole idea behind the game is this balance between what you can and can't do. Use your real money to buy real things. Like there's like a weapons shop you'll go to where you might buy like fake training swords and stuff, but you'll use them to fight in the dungeon. And the reason it's called Persona is that in each game there's a theme as to why you can summon your persona to fight for you. So when you go in the dungeon, which again is different in each game, the idea is that you're calling upon a different persona of yourself to fight and to bring out your strength. So think like Pokemon, pretty much. It's that idea, but you can collect and level up these like different personas and mix them together and whatever. But it becomes really interesting that different personas have different... I don't know what you call them in this one. It's got a weird name for it, like something like Zazie, where they're linked to something. So like if something's under like the stein of the chariot, then that will only get stronger if you do social links that relate to the chariot. So sports, for example. So if you join a club at the school, and if they ask you on those days, hey, it's basketball practice, do you want to come? By going there, you might upgrade your chariot strength, which means that if you summon a persona of that area, it gets stronger. But what makes it really interesting is that even if you cut out all the dungeon part, just talking to all these people and making these choices is like a Telltale game. There's a lot of stuff happening there. Like you can get a girlfriend, you can do stuff, you can do whatever. But then you turn on its head and you've got all the RPG side.
How does the character have time? Like,
well, it's like real life.
No, look, I'm off to the tower. And I'm sleeping during history, so sorry.
This is it. Well, you can only get certain girls if you've got enough intelligence. Depends on the girl. But it's Persona 5. The reason I'm excited for Persona 5 is it looks really nice on the PS4. I've not seen.
It sounds like to me like so again. This is quite a game which is like a long period of time to play. You can spend a lot of hours. Very much like again like with Tom and his Fallout, like a long time of gameplay to invest into. Like so, when did the last one come out?
Persona 4 came out on the PS2, so they skipped the PS3.
Skipped a generation entirely
because they did Catherine for the PS3, which I know you've seen, Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Catherine was the puzzle-based game where you go into your
really bizarre, strange one.
Yeah, brilliant game. But they were kind of like testing the engine on the PS3, and Persona 5 is coming out for the PS3, but it just had such a delay because they kind of cross-developed it for PS4. So I think they kind of pushed both of them back to early 2016.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, your persona is meant to be some kind of like crime-fighting superhero thing. So when
now that sounds awesome.
In this, it looks like, because I don't know much about it, because they kind of keep it quite hidden on the trailers. You seem to turn into like this kind of like masked character with a cape, and you go around with your group of like friends that are also in the same ability. But you're actually doing some kind of like, so the dungeon in this one is actually like some kind of like different buildings. You're almost trying to like sneak around and try and like, you know, like almost Batman around. But at the same time, you'll fight things as well. And then you'll go back to Batmaning around. Then you'll go back to school. You'll get the train. You might do this. You might do that. And it's one of those kind of obsessive compulsive games where you're like, I'm just going to play an hour. And you'll sit there and you're like, I need to do my homework and get my intelligence up. And you realise, what am I doing with my life? You love it.
Don't worry. I think at some point we've all sort of been in those games where you're just like, it's just clicking up. You're enjoying it though. It is good. It is fun. But it's like, I guess Pokemon is probably the most one which is probably relates with me, where you delve in so much time into it. And it's like, well, if I just level up a little bit more, if I catch that one, or it's just, you can't help but you just want to push on just a little bit more each time as you're playing. So, Persona 5, the 2000. Do you know when is it being released in 2016? Do you know?
Summer, it looks like.
Summer. Persona 5 for Mark Stevens. So, over to Luke Gocha. Your anticipated game for 2016 is
Well, I had two, but I've gone with No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Ooh.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was going to be Horizon, just because I saw a little trailer of it, and it looked really cool that you've got future sort of robotic dinosaurs meets caveman, cavewoman-esque, just silly, stupid caveman weapons, and it's like, ooh, that looks really cool.
That was shown last year at E3, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's how it came out of nowhere, because nobody was expecting it. It was the developers of Killzone are creating that game. So, yeah, no, it's interesting to actually that developer to step away from Killzone, finally, and actually get a chance to create a whole new IP.
Does it remind anyone of Enslaved, Odyssey to the West?
Yes, the art style is very much like that.
I haven't played that. I have seen it. I haven't played that. I haven't really, hosting the video games like online show, and I haven't played any video games. I do play video games, honest. Horizon. It looks different. It looks almost a blend between like numerous different games actually into one. Like a little bit of almost a bit Assassin's Creed in certain elements, especially with a lot of the cover base within the undergrowth and everything like that. And then I don't know what really to compare it to with the big ass robot dinosaurs, but that looks it does look pretty cool.
Yeah, the No Man's Sky, it's just open world, constantly changing. It looks like something that I'll get on board with all my mates as well. Just enjoy it online. Yeah. It looks so much fun, bit crazy, great art style to it as well.
I'd love just to get my hands on it. I just really want to play it.
Yeah,
because
£30.
It's
done.
Yeah,
Mark's like done. Let's get it going. I've seen so much of it, and I've seen a lot of the same stuff as well. I just don't still quite understand the gameplay element of it.
Yes.
You understand where I'm coming from, right? It's exploration.
Yeah.
Resource gathering.
But it's a bit of survival there as well, isn't there?
Yeah, I guess
encompasses a little bit of everything, doesn't it?
Well, I've heard
for some reason.
Go on, sorry, Tom.
So for some reason you have to get to the galactic core, but then apparently once you get there, there's a big story event happens, which actually continues on from that. But that's supposed to be the end game sort of thing.
It's just I've seen a lot of people on the internet as well say pretty much the same thing that I've just said. Like, oh, I'm not sure. Then they've played it and gone, it's not what you think. It's something absolutely amazing. It'll blow your mind. This is the thing. And it's just, I believe them. I just don't see it. If you know what I mean. I just really want to get my hands on it. And
there's a lot of curiosity with it, isn't there? Yeah. I mean, the only thing for me is it's a bit sceptical that they're going to have it ready for June or summertime when I think that's going to be a real challenge.
We haven't seen much from it for the last 3 months.
Yeah, I haven't really seen very much proper gameplay. Like they've shown different elements in different areas, but haven't done sort of even like a 20-minute video of actually, what's happening.
But maybe that's why, Roger's got that feeling of I need to get hold of it because they've sort of drip fed you little bits, but they've gone,
a long time.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it would be interesting to see, because I'm looking at the point of view and how it's first person, space and down on planets, things like that. It would be interesting to think, would it be compatible with PlayStation VR? Because it has that similar sort of idea, because has it been published by Sony or have they funded it? I think there's
some association with it.
There's some sort of link between them. And obviously with PlayStation VR coming out at some point this year, which they haven't announced a release date as of yet, if I'm right. That would be good if they actually released the PlayStation VR alongside No Man's Sky. Now, because then if that did happen, I'd be like, PlayStation VR for definite. I'd get No Man's Sky. Brilliant. I've got something to play with it. Plus, I think are they doing Eve Valkyrie free with it or alongside? Is that coming out on PlayStation 4?
Yeah, that looks really good.
That looks good. Hopefully that's coming out on PS4 and will be with the PlayStation VR. That would totally solidify for me. I'm like, yeah, I really want to play it. I want to get my hands on it, but getting PlayStation VR as well, which would be compatible with the game, would be absolutely amazing. That would be thumbs up on that one. I'd be definitely getting my wallet out for that. But it's just I want to know more about it. I just want to have a go on the game, and I'm really curious to see how it plays out and how it works with other players as well, because it's like it's I don't know whether you can group up or you can't group up. It's all very sort of.
Can you drop into people's gate? You know, it's like
spawn with them
because it's such a vast.
We still on about No Man's Sky?
Yeah.
They've said that there's going to be the standard gameplay career mode or story. Well, I don't know if you call it a story mode. You probably could, where you're going to spawn randomly in this huge galaxy, and it's very, very unlikely that you'll even meet another player, let alone your friends. But they've also said they're going to do another sort of traditional multiplayer where you can sort of play with your friends. So it'll be like a separate mode, if that makes sense.
That's good. I'm glad they've separated it as well. That's good.
I guess that would be. I just hope there is some form of element of that, because the worst thing I would like to drop in and be like, oh, I had a really good time on No Man's Sky. Shame we can't play together.
I'll meet you at like such and such a place, and it'll take 3 months to get there.
I'm excited.
You know,
Thank you. Wow, this is turning into Rogers. I don't like this game anymore.
I haven't played it, but I've seen it. So
the Metal Gear 2016.
Well, it would be better than probably Phantom Pain. That would be. Anyway, moving on to me. My anticipated game for 2016 is Firewatch. It's the one that I first saw a trailer for at E3, and it just got my curiosity up. And me and Tom actually did a trailer discussion on AlwayzGamezTV.com, and it was intriguing. It was just something very unusual. The art style is kind of a cartoony-esque style. It's first person, and again, I guess it is a little bit like No Man's Sky. We don't know a huge amount about it. I'd like to get my hands on it, but the element of it is that you basically, the story is that you play as a guy who is just going through a breakdown of his marriage, and you decide to just throw everything up and go, right, I'm going to take up a new job, and it becomes a fire watchman, which is a bit like a ranger for in Canada sort of thing. Keeps an eye on the forest and making sure there's no public going in with hazardous situation where they could end up burning the forest down, basically, aka Firewatch. And you live in a tower, and then the nearest person you're in contact with is a woman who is God knows how many miles and miles away in her tower, looking after her section of the forest and the wilderness. And the dialogue between you and her is literally just over the radio. It's so in-depth and has so much character and so much personality, and there's multiple choices you can make to respond to her. But it's the way it's delivered.
So
it does. It really does. And it's the way it's delivered. The voice acting is absolutely spot on. Even through the trailers, I'm just like, you can't help but just smirk, because it's like, hey, I'd probably say that. And I'd probably say it in that way as well. And it's kind of putting this element of a mystery in there as well. At least that's the way they've gone with the trailer. Because, again, if you go onto YouTube, you'll be able to see this. I'll drop it in the link, actually, in the description below for all the games that we discuss. A section of it, I think probably one of the communications or electrical wires or whatever has been cut in the wilderness, and your character's walking up and he picks it up and he goes, oh, no, I found it, yes, the wire's been totally cut through. And you hear the woman say over the radio, what, you mean you're there? And he's like, yeah, I'm here at the wire. I thought aren't you back at your tower? And he's like, no. And she goes, well, who is? And obviously she's looking through her binoculars at your tower, and you then look at your tower, and you're like, which is in the distance, somebody is in your tower right now, and it's caught element of and it just then cuts off the trailer there. So it gives this element of a mystery of something's going on, nothing's quite as it seems, and it's a bit unusual, and your decisions of how you do situations affect the story as it goes along, and her reaction to you and other people's reaction towards you. It's a very isolated game, because I don't think, at least, even with the footage that we've seen, that you even interact with anybody else in any sort of really way. You see people in the distance, and you shout at them and stuff like that, or call to them, but I've not actually seen any footage where you were stood directly in front of someone talking. The only real interaction you've got is through the lady on the radio, and it just gives that element of loneliness and seclusion, but also quite peaceful as well. It's an unusual one. It's very different sort of gameplay that I would usually go for. I honestly expected me to say Uncharted 4 was going to be my anticipated game for 2016, but everything they put out about Firewatch just intrigues me a little bit more, and I have not got long to wait. It's literally coming out in 4 weeks, and it's only coming out on PS4 and PC. So,
How much is it going to be priced at? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know.
For some reason, I think it's not going to be a full priced game. I don't know why. I think it could be.
I've got that feeling. I'm thinking about 25 quid. I'd probably say.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Like Until Dawn.
Yeah. I guess somewhere around those lines. Until Dawn, full price.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you
Was
got
it?
Yeah. It shouldn't have been, but it was.
Well, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. 7 hours of gameplay was
It was
just.
expensive on PSN.
It was just quite a bit.
50 odd quid on PSN.
It was £50 English
50?
sterling. Yeah.
17 off either.
Yeah. Yeah, Roger. Yeah, so really recommended me.
I did.
the
I
game,
did recommend it. It's a
but you
very
hadn't
good game.
actually played the game.
I played about 4 hours of it. Didn't realise.
Oh, so you'd pretty much played the game then, yeah.
It was like me saying go and play Beyond Two Souls. I've never
Do.
played that.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Mark, isn't that a good game?
I love it. It's awful though when you find out that he's the Green Goblin, and then he flies off. It's a shame.
Spoiler.
I'd actually play this game if that was true. Like, yes. So my anticipated game for 2016 is Firewatch, and I've only got this 4 weeks away, which is I'm really looking forward to that. And like I said, it's going to be one of those games where I think it's going to be word of mouth. I think this game's got a lot of potential in it, and it doesn't seem to be promoted overly much either. And I think if it's spread when people start playing it, like, listen, play this game, it's going to be really, really good. So, over to Tom Simpson. What is your anticipated game for 2016, sir?
I mean, I've got two, but there is one main one. So, the lesser of the two is Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. That looks really
footage
cool.
which was shown at E3, the trailer. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a cross between Far Cry, The Division, which is also another Ubisoft game, which is also another sort of 4-player. I think it's 4 players, The Division, isn't it? And that's another game I'm looking forward to. So
that's scheduled to come out in 2016, isn't it? The
I
Division?
think so. Yeah.
They keep pushing that. That's another one that keeps getting its sort of date pushed back a little bit further.
Anyway, Ghost Recon Wildlands is a 4-player cooperative shooter, first-person shooter. And you're going around these, I think, is it Mexico or somewhere?
Something like that,
I can't remember where. And you have to take out all these like drug lords, cartel thugs and that sort of stuff. And you can do it in loads of different ways. You can go in stealthy, which should be fun, or you can go in and blow everything up, which should be also fun. And basically, I don't know, it looks like a really, really good co-op game.
You can approach missions in different ways, can't you? And it'll affect
That's what I mean,
different-
yeah. So, but my main game I'm looking forward to is Mass Effect Andromeda. Because
You know
I
what? I
enjoyed
had totally
so-
forgotten all about that.
Yeah.
I had totally forgotten all about it, yeah.
Just there's only been like one trailer, but from that trailer it looks so good. Just the way he presses the button and then it goes into hyperspace, or whatever it's called.
The worst thing is, I'm saying I've forgotten about that. That's actually in the intro of this show.
Nice.
Yes.
Well
But,
done, Tom.
Can't wait for that.
What information have they released on Mass Effect Andromeda?
Well, it's not Shepard anymore. It's a completely new character. I think it's set after the relay network collapsed, so I don't know if they've developed a hyperspace travel to come around that. I don't know. But that's about it. I don't really know anything else. It's
There's
new.
still a lot of information to be released, and I'm kind of thinking leading up to E3, and E3 will find more information as it
To be
progresses.
honest, I'm not sure if it will be 2016. They could push
Yeah.
it back.
Well, I guess we haven't really seen. We've seen screenshots. We've seen some where the character stood facing away and then puts the arm thing on and walks toward. That's about it.
Touching a window. Well, it looks like a big screen or a window, and he presses it, and then it goes into warp speed.
Yeah, I think that probably could creep into 2017 actually.
Yeah.
But we don't
That's why I
know.
said-
We have no idea.
That's why I said Ghost Recon as well, because that looks awesome.